Hey team, this is Elizabeth Haslett from Silver Nest Homeschooling, and I wanted to go over some math games that don't look like math games. And so these are all games that we have successfully used in our homeschool for different ages and stages to be able to teach math concepts where the kids don't even realize that is what they are doing. And I got them kind of open so I can show you some of the stuff inside them. But let's start with probably the easiest one, Carcassonne, which is based on history of a variety of castles that were built in medieval times in France. And I actually just played this week with a friend who has a family in France, and he's actually visited some of these castles, and so it was really fun because I brought it to practice French, and it ended up being kind of a fun story time. But anyway, so this has been around for a long time. Probably find it, maybe a friend has it, or at the thrift store or whatever, but it falls into the category of the same thing that you would use any kind of move on a track to catch your points, right? So a lot of games have this where you're scoring on a track. But the positive about this one that I really like is that you're laying tiles like a puzzle. So that's the logic part of math. And then you have your characters and you're deciding when you want to put your pieces down. Sorry about missing the phone there. But when you go to add up your points, if you finish a castle, it's worth twice as many points. And so it's the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so for young kids, the game is not that complicated, especially if you take out the farmers, but then you have the fun of them playing the game, building the puzzle, and then the math is very simple. And then I like to help them even think like, okay, I got 10 points and I'm on the 2. That means that I'm now on the 12, right? Or they could count it out, 1, 2, 3. Any game, Candyland, all those things where you're counting spaces, those all help you with math. But this is my favorite for that kind of simple board game combined with the logic puzzle to help with the simple addition or multiplying by 2. So that is Carcassonne. Is it worth buying as a math game? I don't know. We've had it for a long time and we've always really liked it. So it's I consider it a hidden math game. They don't realize they are doing math. That respect. All right, so we'll leave that alone. The next one that starts with the younger ages, that doesn't require any reading, is Alhambra. And this is the first economic game that we played with the kids. Economic meaning buying and selling something. And what I liked about this one is you're buying and selling buildings to put inside your beautiful Alhambra, but there's different types of money, different countries that you're hiring workers from, and so each type of money is a different color, and so you have to have that kind of money to buy the properties. And so it's simple addition, but it's not your simple 2, 4, 6. There's a lot of odd numbers in there, which can really help trying to deal with purchasing the different cards. And so you have a hand of money, you have different cards that come out that you're trying to buy, and each card goes in a different space. So I need to have gold money to buy the yellow one, blue money. And then it's kind of fun the way it's the golden and the dinar. And started a good conversation about what different kinds of countries and people groups use different kinds of coins, that they're not all called the exact same thing, and that they look different and who made them and all that stuff. That's kind of a side discussion that we had. But Alhambra also is just a really great game. My kids love it. In fact, I've tried to get rid of it a couple times over the years when I've gotten tired of it, and the kids are like, no, we love this game. So that is also a secret math game that's doing more math than you realize. All right. Those are, again, for kids they don't have to read. They just match cards and colors. Getting into some more complicated, Bunny Kingdom is amazing for multiplication. So it is definitely going to be more of your upper elementary school. This game actually belongs to my daughter because she loves bunnies. And you can see already why it's not really designed for small children, because these are the bunnies that you're putting out. And they are really cute, but they're really, really tiny. And then these are the cards that you're using to claim different territories. And what is great about this is it's helping them understand the grid, first of all, because they're looking for B1. So on the board, so I flip it out here on the side, out of the camera, there we go. You'll see you have J1, B1. So they're claiming this spot. They get to put a bunny there if they choose to play that card. So that's one of the things they're learning. The grid format F4 goes there. But then the other thing they're doing is as they're putting more and more and more bunnies out on the board, they get to multiply the effectiveness of their bunnies and their powers by having more and more things in combined spots or the same type of terrain with more of their bunnies. And so at the end of the game, there's so much math, like so much multiplication and so much math, that they are distracted by the adorable bunny cards and bunny rabbits. But the reality is like it just has a ton of math. And I would happily trade out a lesson on multiplication or a regular day of math for this game. So those are, that's Bunny Kingdom. Again, I'm not sure which of these are easiest to find. I know Carcassonne is an evergreen. I know Alhambra should be an evergreen, meaning that's able to find it still. I think Bunny Kingdom, I know they made an expansion for it, so I think it's still available. And then the final one is Lovelace and Babbage. This one is great because it's the shortest game here, and it directly correlates with different operations of math that you are solving to get different numbers. There is a time limit, and so you have a little fun timer, sorry. And then you have all the little pieces that you lay down for the orders of operation. And then you yourself on your board are doing the math operations in order to get the proper numbers. And the more numbers you get, you can unlock different things in order to create the numbers that you want. And so you're working with these different, trying to get the number 46. If you get the number 46, then you get Florence Nightingale. And you start with some of the same exact numbers, and you have to do these different order operations. So that's not really explaining the game. Look up how to read the rules and explain the game. But it is cheaper than some of the other bigger games, and it is easier. And I did successfully use it. You can see there's negative or plus 45. This one is times by 4. You know, different. So there's different math that's going to come up at them. And it really did help my high school student and my middle school student practice their math facts in a way that doesn't feel quite so babyish. And then it does have that little bit of history put in there, and you simple rule books. And then they have a little fun data on who the different, so some option rules, so you can upgrade it. But if you're looking for math, the board game, this is definitely one of those games that probably doesn't disguise it quite as well, but on the surface doesn't look like math until you start working on it. So maybe it's not as hidden of a math game, but it sure is a wonderful game for the older kids that are trying to figure out their math facts when they maybe skipped a couple things. All right, well, that is my math pile of games that don't look like math but really are. And if you have any questions, or if you have a game that you really like to use to teach math that doesn't look like a math game, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. I may have played it, or I might be interested in looking into it. So thanks and have a great day.